What's up, you guys? Good morning and welcome back to the YouTube Barber Academy. Actually, we're talking about something kind of cool today that is going to impact the YouTube Barber Academy itself. All right, and I'm talking about creativity, things that stifle it, and things that let it flourish. So, how's everybody doing this morning? Let's listen people get up in the room, and if you have a piece of content that you would like me to react to, just shoot it my way, drop it in these comments, and I'll be happy to put a spin on it.
Police reported ahead.
Police reported ahead. Keep it low, y'all. Y'all see me put the phone low. With the police in town. Yeah, there they are. Sitting up there. All right, some people are getting in the room now. What's good with you? How's everybody doing? And yeah, man, drop a comment. Let me know you're up in here, and then we'll get started. You guys just missed it. Y'all just jumped in. I just got the notification. Police reported ahead. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. What up, Jerry? I'm feeling good today. Guys. I think it's 7 days of doing yoga. Now, I work out too, but 7 days of integrating yoga into my morning routine got me up here feeling like just great, just limber, just comfortable, just happy. Good morning, Amber. Endorphins are flowing, and this is something that there's a piece of content that I want to react to start off this morning's live. All right. So for those of you guys who might not know this, I'm a huge fan of Jocko Willink and his podcast. In fact, ever since I found him, I can't seem to stop listening to that stuff. And I would recommend that you guys go ahead and listen to that. But to take a small piece off of something that he was talking about. What up, Juan? Good to see you guys. Chad, what up, man? Good to see you. He said, good morning, knuckleheads. It's going to be a long ride to the shop because they got my roads all messed up still. So, all right, back to it. So, he had somebody on the show, and they were talking about dopamine. And for those of you who may or may not know, dopamine is that good feeling you get because of something either real or perceived. So, for instance, you go on your social media, kids go on their social media, young people go on their social media, and they get that instant dopamine hit because they're seeing things they like as they continue to scroll. Dopamine hit. Get a like, get an inbox, dopamine hits. And the problem with that is it's not earned dopamine. It's basically like store-bought dopamine. It's like drinking alcohol or consuming drugs. It's not earned dopamine. So one of the reasons why I like to work out, why I like to, just started doing yoga, why I've been trying to do more cardio, why I'm trying to do more of these things, because that is earned dopamine. When you work out, you earn this feeling. You earn the feeling of feeling good, and it's going to course throughout the rest of your day. And it's going to just make you react differently through the rest of your day. You're just going to feel better, and you're going to be in good shape to kind of handle the challenges that are going to be thrown at you. All right. So, it's just as simple as just feeling like you accomplished a few things, and actually having accomplished a few things, having a couple of things under your belt before you get the day started. So I would encourage you guys, man. And for those of you guys who think yoga is easy, or you think yoga is just a bunch of stretching, and if you think that, I don't fault you, because I kind of felt the same way. It ain't. It's hard. It's really, really hard. So I'm just saying, it's just Manny. What's up, buddy? Thank you for jumping in here. I want one of them Uptown shirts, Jerry Conley. I got to get you one, man. I got a whole bunch, actually. I could send you one out. So yesterday, like my creativity has been stifled by a couple of things, but I'm gonna tell you guys one of the things that's really been stifling my creativity, like just on my YouTube channel, is just I simply don't have anywhere to retreat to just film like within a, consistently. And it's been hard, man, because if I want to go film something, let's say you get the idea, strikes you, I want to get out there and strike while the iron's hot. Well, I go to the shop, they got, and it has to be this way, but they got music on that's going to get me demonetized. It's loud in there, I can't really film there. So I'm like, all right, fuck it, I'll go home. I don't really have a great place to film there. I'm like, all right, you know what, I'll just grab my camera, go outside, and, it's not what I want. So I figured I gotta do something about this. So I set up a new studio, and unfortunately I wasn't able to purchase anything in person, because all these stores do nowadays is just not stock nothing. And then when you go there, they're like, we can we can ship it to your house, you can order it online. Like, if I wanted to order it online, I wouldn't have drove over here. I wouldn't have drove over here with a truck willing to pick it up. And, trying to figure out who's got what in stock is also another. But anyways, to make the story short, I'll be going through the Amazon list of things. Once I got my studio set up, I'll be going through the Amazon list of things that I've done. And you guys are going to love this, because I'm going to be able to do product shots right there with the idea I have. So, assuming everything works out correctly, this means for the YouTube Barber Academy, I should be able to start putting out 2, maybe even 3 videos a week. That's my goal, and that's what I want to do. So the next thing that I'm trying to tackle is I'm trying to redo some of the phase videos, so that we just have like the most airtight content, most airtight learning going forward. In a couple of weeks, I'll be going to LA, and I'm going to be doing the Johnny B Academy. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what I'm going to learn there, who I'm going to meet, and things like that. And, some people might look at instruction, especially once you reach a certain level at something, some people might look at instruction with disdain. And I just want to caution you guys against that. So let's say that you're really good at anything. It doesn't have to be barbering, but you're just really, really good at it. You teach it, you've taught it for a number of years, you work hard to get where you're at, and now somebody wants to teach you something, and you feel like you know it all. La, 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 la. You got your ears plugged and you're doing that, right? But at the end of the day, if you do that, you're not going to be able to learn. There's people in your life that are not as good at you as what you do. You know what I meant? I came out bad. But you can still learn something from them. So no matter what the Johnny B Academy is or isn't, like, I plan on just doing it to the fullest of my ability. I plan on listening to the instructors and just being the best student I can be, and really, really looking for some gems that maybe I don't have. Because at the end of the day, I still want to grow. I still know I got to grow. I still know there's things where I'm weak, and I can conduct an internal audit of myself and say, look, these are the areas that you're not doing great in. These are the areas that you want to stay in, you want to work in. It's just like anything. Some people are going to run from the things that they're weak at. From the things they suck at, they're just going to run from them. Nah, I don't use the scissors. Why don't you use the scissors? I'm just not comfortable with the scissors. I'm a lot better with the clippers. I'm a lot better with the clippers because you've not used the scissors. It's not hard to get good with the scissors. Big T, he's asking Mythic, Saber, or Apex. I would, for me, if you like the Masters, if you like the corded Masters, if you like that feeling, I would point you to the Mythic. If you want something a little lighter than the corded Masters, something, around the same kind of shape, almost like that same kind of, I don't even want to say that's true, but the Sabers or the Apex, the difference would be the Sabers have a brushless motor, and these Sabers are going to cut with a little less torque. So that's going to be a little more forgiving. Where my cut speed, it's comfortable for me to use either the Sabers or the Mythics. Either the Sabers or the Apex. The Apex has the same motor as the Rebel. And I've been telling you guys for a while now, I think that's an underrated clipper. I think it's I think it's one of the better clippers. Top of the morning to you too as well, Page of Styles. Thank you for jumping in here. He said, thoughts on the Babelist Boost clipper. I'll tell you, I'm not too familiar. I believe that's another one of the flashlights, if I'm not wrong. I'm pretty sure it is. But it was always hard for me to work with that shape. I just don't like it. I mean, I think their best clipper for me personally is the Low Pro. And, you know, I want to caution you guys too, like when you go to buy things, you know, it don't matter what you're buying. I'm just saying, when you go to buy things from companies, right? Just because they're putting out something new does not negate some of the stuff that they have previously put out. Like some of the units that, you know, are going to come out in the future. And this is just from somebody who's product tested an awful lot. Like I've had the good fortune to work with prototypes, product testing, thumb up, thumb down stuff, give feedback, give advice. And now I see it. I see that, you know, sometimes companies are going to put out things that are great for other people. They're great for, you know, a difference in a variety within their own brand. But it does not necessarily mean that the previous stuff that they put out is now obsolete. Like, this is not buying a new car every year. This is not buying, you know, something that really, like a new computer every year. This isn't really like that. Like, you can do great work with one of their older machines, one of the newer machines. You can do great work with practically everything. So, you know, at the end of the day, I think it's something that really fits you, fits your comfort, the way you like to cut, the way you like to hold the clipper, those type of things. Something like that is gonna be more beneficial to you. Something that makes you feel comfortable, you know. But if I really had to pick, I would probably, for Big T, I'd probably pick the Apex. I have two Apexes that I cut with primarily, and I use a taper blade on one, and I use the fusion blade on the other. So those are my two primary things that I use. He said, why can't Stylecraft fix the loudness of the Rebel? It would be my go-to, but I can't deal with the noise. I get it, and that's why I like the Apex, because the Apex is 10 decibels lower. It's as quiet as pretty much everything, and it turns out that metal housing is going to dampen that noise quite a bit. So it has the same motor, but an extra hour of runtime, and it's much quieter. That's the short form answer to why I feel like that clipper kind of does beat the Rebel. Now, where the Rebel sort of wins is the Rebel has a lot of value all the way around, from just getting the fusion, or the Vapor blade as we're calling it now. You're getting that along with the Rebel platform, whereas the Apex, if I can remember right, I think it comes with a fade blade. I could be wrong. This is one of the things that happens when you product test a lot. I change stuff all the time, and then sometimes I forget what the heck everything came with, and I got to do a little recap. Oh yeah, that's right, that came with this. Yeah, that's right, that came with that. And we even considered, me and some of the other people that test for gamma, we all considered, like, wouldn't it be cool if we could like say what we think each clipper should come with that makes it perform the best. But the problem is it would just become a nightmare for all our salespeople. So, you know, we are doing our best to make sure that these clippers come with the best possible thing that they could have going forward. But some of the stuff that has come out is not the best blade for it. Haroon, what's up, man? Thank you for jumping in. He said, thoughts on caliber clippers? I'm looking at the 50 cal BMGs. I have no idea. I'm sure they got some stuff that's good. I don't really use that brand anymore. I don't really I don't really have anything to do with them anymore. You know, so it's more or less like a thing where, like, I'm not going to say anything bad about them. I know that the ones that I had back when I had them were pretty good, and I can only guess that they've made some improvements. All right. Jerry Conley, let's get it. He points out the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is that on Sunday, 4 o'clock, the Bills got the biggest game. This might be the biggest game of the year. And I don't know, man. You guys got any predictions? It's Bills versus the Chiefs. If you don't know, and it's gonna be a dogfight. I'm kind of nervous just thinking about it, to be honest. I mean, this is a game that I feel like we really, really need to win. We've done an awful lot to try to beat them, and they're good, man. Mahomes is good. Courtney O'Shea, thank you for being a member, Courtney. She said thanks for your content. How long do you think someone should cut with a clipper before moving to the next one? Feels like a new clipper's out every month. Thank you, Jerry. I hope they do kill it. What it sounds like she's asking is, how long should she cut with something before she switches? And the answer to that is, if you're happy with what you're getting out of the one that you're cutting hair with, then you really don't need to be swayed. It's almost like saying, how long should I wear these shoes before I buy a new pair of shoes? Like, a person needs a pair of shoes to get around, but at the same time, like, they see them new shiny shoes sitting on the shelf, they're real pretty, and they buy an extra pair of shoes, right? Doesn't mean anything. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Courtney. I'm sorry. I was just guessing. A bad guess. I guess Courtney could go either way. So, Courtney is a guy, guys. And I'm sorry. So, anyhow, I'm just saying that you really don't need to buy a new machine unless you feel like, you want to try something new. He said it's a common man's name here in London, UK. You know what, man? From now on, I'm going to be a little bit more careful. I got to. That's what I'm trying to say. Jerry Conley sums it up. You can do good work with anything. I mean, you really can. And if I was going to tell you to buy another machine to replace that machine that you're cutting hair with, that may not be the best thing to tell you, but what I would tell you is maybe buy something to help support that machine that you're cutting hair with. So if you only have one and you look at what blade you have on there, let's say it's a fade blade or a taper blade or a fusion blade, hopefully. If it's one of those things, then what I would do is just get one with a taper blade, so that way you have both things covered, because there's nothing easier when you're blending than having that option to jump over to a taper blade when you need it. So it just really simplifies the skin 5-0 to open taper, closed taper. That whole area just becomes a lot easier. It becomes a lot easier when you have a taper blade to go to as well. I feel like if you have the two basics covered in a good trimmer, good electric shaver, I mean, you're pretty much good to go. Some decent shears, a couple of combs, you're good to go. You know what I mean? You are good to go. So, at the end of the day, I don't really see most of our equipment. I see kind of not lasting as long as it used to, though, just due to the fact that these are all cordless. They're battery. The battery life is going to be finite. We're not going to have these clippers as long as the previous clippers that we used to have. And they're so much better and they're so much more efficient now that I really don't mind. Like, if I got 2 years out of anything, I'd be happy with that. What do you guys think? If I got 2 years out of anything right now, whether it's a clipper, a trimmer, and I'm talking about any brand, I know there's people who sit back and say, oh, it should last 5 years. But, like, the reality is they can last 5 years, but the battery is not going to handle that many cycles. It's just not. You're going to have some degradation of the battery. So that's going to happen. He said they should do like you did. Find a clipper that they like, have one with a taper blade and the other with a fade blade. I think that's a powerful solution. I think all right, so here's the benefits to working with two of the same clipper, which is something I'm really just now stumbling onto. Like, you get muscle memory, right? You get used to the weight, the size, the shape, the feel of everything. This is stuff that just sort of happens like automatically. So if you have a clipper, and everybody knows this, when you get a new clipper, you got to work with it. You got to get used to it. You're not going to put down your best work right away most of the time. Most of the time, it's going to take you time to get used to it. So my theory was that if I cut with 2 of the exact same ones, all of that muscle memory, all those things that go into this, just the automatic side of things, my autonomic functions of just boom doing certain things. So that stuff would all be the same. So if I had 2 of the same clippers, when I pick them up, they feel exactly the same. They're shaped exactly the same. They run the same speed. Everything's the same. The only difference is the blade's different. So I just feel like that's a big advantage. And then the other side of the advantage, the other side of that is when you put a charging stand up, now you don't have to have 2. You can just have 1 charging stand up. So you can trade those on and off. And in my case, 3 hours of runtime is usually sufficient to get through the entire day. I don't ever actually plug any of them in during the day, unless I forgot to do it, maybe the night before or something. But for the most part, there's a lot of advantages to cutting with 2 of the exact same units, I think. Thoughts? Make sense? Because if I have I think a nice combo was actually the and I'm talking about Babyliss for a second. If we go back to the Low Pro did not have a taper blade, but it had a wedge blade on it, right? It cuts a lot like a taper blade though. So that one with that wedge blade and one with a fade blade of some kind, that would be a nice combo. That would be, 2 of the exact same clippers, allowing for, all those advantages. Maybe I'll do a full video on this topic. Because I think it's a good little advantage to point out. It's some game that I don't think anybody else is really talking about. And at the same time, I don't think a lot of people who are getting good, who are good, I don't think they even really worry too much about the size and shape of a clipper. They just pick it up and start working with it, and as long as they're patient, they'll pull off a good cut. You said, all right, so let's see. I definitely trust your judgment. I know you aren't just trying to make people buy clippers. You really care about the art of this. I do. Thank you, Courtney. I appreciate that. I do, and that's why, I wasn't out here saying, oh yeah, you should buy this and you should buy that. You don't have to. And the older stuff is still great stuff. And some things that might even go on sale right now. And in that case, it might make sense to do something like that. But that's all I'm saying is I appreciate you for pointing that out. Jerry Conley says, very very true, Courtney. Have you seen he's paid for people's barber school? Great dude. I thank you, man. I thank you. What's funny is I need to get, and this is part of that creativity thing that I was telling you guys about in the beginning of this live. I really need to get organized. Once all my stuff comes in next week, I'm going to set up my studio. I'm going to get working on that, and I really need to start to work on the Barber Tuition Initiative. We're only sitting in there with $1,500, and Kenny from Gamma, he told me if I got it up to $5,000, so if I could get the donations up to $5,000, he'll match it with another $5,000. That would be $10,000, and we could probably go knock out a couple videos. So I'm hopeful that I can bring that back up, and it's my fault. It's not really your guys' fault. I mean, I think every single one of you guys who are in this room have contributed to it. It's just we got to figure out a way to get more creative, get more people involved, and do that. So, the link is in the description if you do want to donate. I appreciate it, but I really need to get grinding on that because it's just so important to me. Let me set this down for a second. I got to drive shafter. It's just so important to me, man, to really try to help some people out. I don't know if I got a way to open this. Hold up. I want you guys to check this out. Shout out to Tomb 45. Now, a lot of times they send me this stuff for free. I just figured I'd show it to you guys real quick. A lot of times they send me this stuff for free. But I really love these products. I love these beard pencils. So I got a whole bunch of them. And this time around, I decided to just do black brown for my entire thing. What I've noticed with black brown, even though I have onyx and I have used onyx, what I've noticed with black brown is it seems to work well on all skin tones. It really does. Like if you put it in a little thicker, it almost comes up to black. And at the same time, like even black skin, it seems to be perfect to use black brown. I mean, I don't really come in contact with the need to use onyx very often. I have one person I think I use onyx on because I can get away with it, and it's a white kid with damn near black hair. So, you know, it's just like I was just, when I went to go buy these, I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to do brown. I think I'm going to do brown black and just see how this goes. And I still have a few things of onyx. So if I put it on somebody and I'm like, okay, maybe I was wrong, but I don't think I am. I think this is the way to go. So I just don't need the onyx anymore. But the beard pencils, I kind of wish that they would come with just the beige one, because I'm not really using the white side of the pencil too much either. Just another one of those things that I'm just not using a lot of it. Man, it is wet over here. Don't want to get these all over my shoes. So yeah, you know, that's just, you know, my thing. I was just kind of hoping that maybe they release just a beige pencil, which would be dope. How you guys doing? Good. So, all right, you guys, I'm going to let you go. I'm walking into work. This is the YouTube Barber Academy. I'm Mr. Eddie Barber, and I'm out of here. Peace.